Okay, so the second question is, what helpful skills or tips do you have for coping with being apart from your partner for long periods of time?
Oh. Well, you and I are not far away from each other for a long period of time.
I wish we spent more time apart.
Wow.
I'm not the
I'm just
one.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm not probably the best person with borderline to ask this question because I don't struggle. I have such social anxiety that I don't struggle with like having a favorite person. I haven't had a favorite person in so long,
Yeah.
um, over a decade,
Yeah.
um, longer. So I and I really like being alone.
Yeah.
I like spending time with you. I love spending time with you, and I wish that we had more quality time spent together.
Hmm.
But because of work and life, we don't have that much quality time to spend together. But like, you were just gone for work for 4 nights,
Hmm.
and I didn't struggle.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know that we're maybe the best couple to ask that question because neither of us really struggle being apart. But I think I can say that, like, in previous relationships, I really, really struggled being apart from my partner. But they didn't have BPD, but I had a really, like, oh, here we go with it, fucking attachment theory. But I was like super, super insecure in my relationships. Even though I thought and felt I was secure in them, I was not. And I was not behaving that way. So I was just like, oh my God, I gotta be texting them all the time. Like, where are they? Oh my. And I don't experience that with you.
Yeah, so I think one of the things is like, if you are a person with borderline and your partner is going to be gone for a certain period of time, develop a cope ahead plan
Hmm.
before that distance occurs. Develop a cope ahead plan for like how often you'll talk, how you will talk, um, having like a scheduled FaceTime date.
Hmm.
Um,
What you'll do if they're not able to talk when you
yeah.
guys had originally like scheduled, because like at the end of the day, like, I'll speak for me. If I'm at work and Sarah is in distress, I'm immediately maxed out at work. And sometimes I can leave work and go home, but the majority of the time I cannot. And then all I can think about at work is, what is it going to be like when I get home? Is she going to be okay? Are we okay? Like, so I think like the person who's leaving should have a cope ahead plan of like what, you know,
Or how you cope with being like,
gone. If you
yeah.
can't come home, like, like, that's a real fear. Like when I go, when I go to Eastern Washington for work, I do worry, like, what if something happens? Like, am I going to be able to go home? Like, what if I can't come home? So um I think that that's an important thing, like, for the person who's gone, and also like you each need to have your own, like, okay, these are the instances where I'm gonna come home, these are the instances where I'm not gonna come home, and like, what can we do together and separately together to minimize any potential, fiasco or catastrophe or whatever.
Yeah, cope ahead for sure.
Uh-huh.
I think like if you can try to, like, if you're the person with borderline and your partner is leaving or you have to leave, if you can try to sort of change the way you think about it from like they're going to be gone to, oh my God, I'm so excited to have that time alone. Because I
Hmm.
know as a person with borderline, there are times where I'm like, get the fuck away from me because everything that you're doing is so annoying to me. I could just lose my shit at any moment. And that's true for anybody. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have borderline to be like, you have been on my heels for the last 2 hours like a puppy, and I just need you to get the fuck away from me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um So like trying to do that reframing of
Mhm.
like, I'm really excited to actually like be on my own.
Uh-huh.
I get to choose, not that I don't always get to choose, but like I get to choose what TV I'm watching tonight because I don't have to like, you know, try to find a common television program to like enjoy together, or
Mhm.
like I get to get whatever takeout I want, or like, I get to have that one friend come over and just like talk smack all night, or
Mhm.
like whatever, but make it yours, like
Yeah.
make it your time. It's about you, nobody is interrupting it, because I promise there will be moments where you will be dysregulated by your partner and you will wish that you could have some of that time back.
Mhm. I also I'm glad you said that because that's where I was gonna go with that. Like embrace the time alone. Like, oh my god, like I try to think of things like that I wouldn't maybe normally do. Like if Sarah's home. Now granted, like Sarah's not gone very often. But if she is,
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
the grocery store or whatever,
Yeah.
like luckily for me, the grocery store is like an hour out and an hour back, so that's 2 hours, right? Like I'm like, ooh, like I'm gonna, do whatever. You can like think of things like that, like, oh, like stuff you don't do when your partner's around. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe you don't maybe like you love to eat fucking a PB&J standing up on at the counter naked.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I was trying to think of something weird. Not that that's weird actually, because I would do that. But anyway, not the point. But like things that like you're like you don't inherently do in front of your partner, not because you're embarrassed, but because you just don't do it, and you're like, oh, I can just, if I want to eat a fucking box of crackers in my bed, I can. Don't eat crackers in our bed.
Crackers in bed is the worst idea. Nobody
But
wants
some people,
crumbs on their ass when they
right?
get like
But like,
into bed at night out of the shower.
oh god, do you remember when I like laid on that piece of chocolate?
Okay.
Anyway, not the point. The point is if you want to do some weird fucking single people shit that you don't do anymore, I think there's an entire Sex in the City episode about that actually, but just embrace the like being alone.
Yeah.
Like that's important. That like, maybe you're like you love to color and you don't do that with your partner because you guys really like to have active time together. Fucking crush a coloring book. Maybe you're like, "Oh my god, I love to read, but every time I start to read, my partner wants to turn off the light or something like that." Maybe you crush through a bunch of novels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just reframing that time away from being devastating to being like, personal joy, whatever,
Liberating. I don't
yeah,
know.
however you would define the opposite of
Mhm.
miserable, but like just telling yourself like this is going to be great and I will
Mhm.
enjoy the time that I do connect with them by FaceTime, or you know sending a postcard or whatever,
Yeah.
but otherwise I'm going to just like enjoy the fuck out of this time with myself.
Mhm. Mhm.